all fantastic cartoon characters there. And do you know what we're going to do? Throughout this series of Art Attack, we are going to start with a blank sheet of paper and we are going to create our own original cartoon character. So, okay, where do you start? Well, the one thing all those cartoon characters had in common is they've all got great facial expressions. But you know, you don't have to be a great artist to create great facial expressions. All you need are 2 eyebrows, 2 eyes, and a mouth. Just keep it very simple and watch what you can do with a face just using these 3 things. Okay, well, let's keep the eyebrows the same and the eyes. Let's just move the mouth. Look what happens when you give it a nice big grin. Suddenly, the whole face explodes into life. All right, well, let's keep that smile there. Nice big wide smile. And let's keep the eyes the same. And let's alter those eyebrows and see what happens there. Just bring them down a bit. Suddenly, a big cheesy grin turns into a menacing smile. Now, the idea is to just keep it really simple. Do you know who the best person is to teach you how to draw facial expressions? Yourself. All you need is your own face and a mirror, and it's a case of looking in the mirror and seeing what your facial features are doing. For instance, what about your eyebrows? Do they go up or down? Your eyes? Wide or narrow? And your mouth? Smiley or down in the dumps? And just keep looking in the mirror and drawing what you see. So let's try a few of these features then. What about sad? Well, what happens to my face when I'm sad? Well, the eyebrows, they go up in the middle. The eyes stay the same, and the mouth down at each end. So let's draw that. The eyebrows up. There's the eyes. And there is one very sad mouth. Good one. Let's try another one. What about shock? Eyebrows shot up in an arc. So I'll do that. Eyes, very wide. And what about the mouth? Very wide. And there it is. Shock. And you just keep going. Look it in the mirror and draw in what you could see. Keep practicing. Practice on other people. If you see someone on the bus, draw them on the back of your bus ticket. Just keep practicing. And next time, we will design our own original cartoon character. We are going to start with a blank sheet of paper and we're going to create our very own original cartoon character. So, okay, where do we start? Well, I'm going to start with a nice big cheesy grin because I definitely want my character to be a happy character. There it is. Now, it's a case of building up the rest of the face now, and that is where this stuff comes in, tracing paper. It is absolutely brilliant because what you do is you lay it over the drawing that you've already done and the bits that you're happy with and experiment. So, okay, let's start with some eyes then. What about nice big eyes to go with my mouth? Oh no, it looks like the character's just about to eat me, doesn't it? Looks like some sort of wide-mouthed frog. Okay, what about some shifty eyes for our character? Nah, a bit evil, I think. What about, let's see, I know, some cartoonist's favourite, cross eyes. Actually, you can make a good mad rabbit out of that. I don't think we'd do a rabbit there. Too many of those around. How's about really big, wide eyes? Nah, it makes my character look nervous. What about some tiny eyes? Actually, that's not bad, you know, good contrast with the big mouth. The problem with very tiny eyes, though, is that they're not very expressive. So, to compensate for that, let's see what happens when you stick in some big eyebrows. Oh, no, that's quite good. So what have we got so far? Well, we've got tiny eyes there and a nice big eyebrows up there. Right, I'm going to stick with that. Now, what about our character's head? Well, a lot of famous cartoon characters are actually animals. So let's see what our character looks like as a dog. Scruffy top up there, big floppy ears. And dog's collar. Oh, it's quite good. Let's see what it looks like as a cat. Cheeky whiskers at the side there. Well, that suits him because the big cheesy grin. Let's try something else. What about a snake? Ah, now I like that. The problem with a snake, though, is it's not, you can't get many features in, and you can't get his hands in, and you can't do many things. So let's try putting in a couple of accessories, maybe a hat on the top. Oh, that's good. See what that would look like on the cat. This big hat on the top. It's amazing how when you start putting things in, the character comes to life. Do you know, I really like that. I think I'm going to stick with that. We are going to stick with a cat. Next time, we'll give him a body. Whole gallery of cartoon heroes there, and I wonder if one day we'll see this chap up there with them. Remember him? He's our cartoon character that we've been creating over the last couple of weeks. I'm just trying some facial expressions out on him there. That's good. Using the good old tracing paper, just to experiment with. There he is, chatting away there. I think that looks really good. You know, it's quite interesting to compare my cartoon character's head with a real cat's head. Because look, it's nothing like it. They are so different. If you look at my character's eyes, they're close together and they're small, and yet a real cat has got big eyes far apart. And look at that mouth. Really big cheesy grin there, whereas a real cat has only got quite a small mouth. In fact, my cat is more human-like, and this is a trick a lot of cartoonists use. They make their characters with human features so that we can recognise what they're actually doing. So, OK, we've got to give my character a body now, and it will be interesting to see whether or not he suits a real cat's body. So here it goes, the moment of truth. I don't think so, that looks terrible. So we're going to have to create his own body. Get rid of that cat's body, that's not going to go anywhere. I think what we'll do then is we'll make his body a bit more human-like. So let's start out with a real long body. See what he looks like? Tall and lanky. Put his feet in there. He's still a cat though, but I'll just make him a bit more human, have him standing up. I'm just doing it rough to get the measurements right. What's that like? No, he looks a bit like a cat lollipop. OK, what about a short, tubby body? Let's try that. Let's give him a little paunch of a belly there. Let's put his shoulders and his hands behind his back. Make him nice and tubby. Give him a little short, dumpy legs. Ah, now then, I think this is looking a lot better. There's his tail coming out from behind. That's looking a lot better because it's in better proportion to his head. So what about his clothes? Well, at the moment, he's got a top hat on, so let's keep his clothes nice and posh. What goes with a top hat? Yes, tails. So we'll put some posh tails on him there. And maybe even a posh waistcoat. Put that on. The great thing about this tracing paper is you can just keep going over and over again. And what about a pair of glasses on him? Make him look a little bit older. Or better still, a monocle. That might make him look nice and distinguished. There he is. And we could also curl his whiskers up a little bit. And there he is. I think that's getting there. I think that's beginning to look pretty good. You know, it's amazing when you think about it. Just with the help of a bit of tracing paper and paper, a couple of weeks ago, we started out with the bare bones of a character, just a smile on a sheet of paper. And now, look what we've got. He's almost there, a cat. In fact, I quite like that name, you know, Bones. Bones the cat. I think we've just christened him. Bones the cat it is. Next week, he gets some colour. whole lineup of famous cartoon characters there. And here's a lineup of one cartoon character who hopefully one day will be just as famous. Remember him? Bones the cat, the cartoon character that we've been creating over the last few weeks. Now I'm just trying to decide on a colour scheme for him, and I think it's important that his colour matches his personality. And you know, I think he's got to be very bright, but I also like the stripy effect. I think it gives him a sort of comical feel. Now I think he's slightly posh as well, so how's about this very plush velvety purple for his jacket? Do you know, I'm quite pleased with that colour scheme. I think it's pretty good. So okay, you've got your cartoon character, you've named him, but what does he actually do? Well, he could be a cricket umpire. He could be an astronaut. He could be a famous fighter pilot. He could even be a school teacher. Now the truth is, he can be whatever you want him to be if you've invented the character. And do you know what I want Bones to be? I want him to be a private detective. In fact, let me introduce you to Sherlock Bones, the private detective. I think it suits him, don't you? He's sort of very proud and full of himself. I think, though, he is slightly scatty, a sort of bumbling detective. And you know what he needs? He needs an assistant. And I've done him as well. Let me introduce you to Sherlock Bones' assistant, the trusty old man himself, What's Up. And there they are, Sherlock Bones and What's Up. Did you get it? Sherlock Bones and What's Up? Well, they go on their first adventure next week. Watch out for that.
Ah, yes, I detect some very nice cartoons there. Hello, my name's Sherlock Bones, private detective. Actually, my name's Sherlock Bones, private detective. Actually, you're both wrong. I'm Sherlock Bones, private detective extraordinaire. Well, the truth is they're all Sherlock Bones, private detective extraordinaire. He's the cartoon character, if you remember, we've been creating over the last couple of weeks. Now, he started out life as just a piece of white paper, and now he's come to this, together with his trusty assistant, What's Up. So, okay, you've created your cartoon character. What do you do with it? Well, obviously, you want to give it life and take it off the paper. So how's about making a very simple puppet like this? Hello there. Now, what I've done here is I've cut out the mouth, split it in two, stuck it onto a lever on the back, just a bit of card there, put some card over the top, and away you go. You can even give him a voice. Hello there. Or you could always make a model out of modelling clay, and the great thing is you can paint it up to your own colours later on. Or if you're any good with fabrics, you can create a glove puppet. Hello there, I'm Sherlock Bones. Now, this isn't as hard as it looks. What I've done is I've taken 2 sheets of fabric and cut them out roughly in the right shape, there, like that. And there's a ball with a hole in the top, which I stick my fingers into. That can be the head, again with fabric on the top. Sew these 2 sheets of fabric together with the ball inside, and there you have him. Now, if you think your cartoon character is very good, why not send it to a comic? That's exactly what I'm going to do with Sherlock Bones. Now, let me give you a few tips. First of all, what you need to do is map out your story in rough first. Then, you should divide your page into some boxes for your story and draw it in pencil. And when you're happy with it, go over it in ink, rub out the pencil marks, and then colour in and make it nice and bright and bold. And there it is. And also, if you're going to do any special effects or sound effects, do those in very big boxes like that. So here it is, the first adventure of Sherlock Bones. Hello, I'm Sherlock Bones, the world's greatest detective. And this is my trusty friend, What's Up. I solve dangerous crimes because I keep my eyes and ears open at all times. Uh-oh, help! You seem to have slipped on the outer casing of an exotic tropical fruit. I'd better put this rubbish where it belongs. Exactly.
Not bad at all, eh? First adventure of Sherlock Bones. Next week, he gets his proper voice.
Remember me? I'm Sherlock Bones. 5 weeks ago, I was a sheet of blank paper, and today I'm going to get a proper voice and be turned into a real, moving cartoon character. Not bad at all, eh? But before you can do anything with your cartoon character, you have to know what he looks like from all angles. And to help you do this, this is a great idea. Draw the face of your cartoon character onto an egg. Now, that's Sherlock Bones there. And as you can see, if you turn the egg around, you can see him from different angles, and it helps you draw different aspects of him. I've also done one of what's up here. There he is. And he's got a slightly more rounded face, so I've done him on a ping pong ball. And again, you can turn him around from different angles and see what he looks like. You can go one step further. You can actually create a model out of modelling clay there. Just paint it all up, and that will help you look at the body from all angles as well. And there he is, good old Bones. So when you really do know your cartoon character, how's about giving him a voice? Well, you can have great fun trying different voices out for your character. There he is. But I'm actually not going to. I'm going to leave this one to the expert.
It's me, Gilbert. Come on, let me in.
No, don't worry. It's not Green Gilbert.
Yes.
It is, in fact, the voice behind Gilbert, Phil Cornwell. Hiya,
Hello,
Phil.
sir. Hello there.
How you doing?
All right.
Good.
Yeah.
You know this character, then?
I do. Intimately.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Now,
yeah,
I
know
asked
Will.
you to provide the voice for Sherlock Bones for me. How did you do?
Well, I looked at the drawing initially, and it sort of struck me immediately what sort of voice this character would have, fortunately. Because it's just... you want to hear the voice?
I certainly
Well,
do.
I saw it, and I thought, I say, my name's Sherlock Bones, actually. And it's based on an old character actor called Terry Thomas, who's brilliant. He's a very famous
It's
actor.
really weird to hear that, because that's the first time I've heard the character done properly. I mean, I've been trying it, but you've really hit it on the head there.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's sort of, with this one, it struck me immediately just because of his manner, you know, just looking at him. So that was no problem.
OK, what
That
about
one.
his assistant, then? What's up?
Well, with him, again, I thought, I looked at the drawing and it wasn't quite as obvious to me.
Right.
But eventually I've settled on a sort of, well, excuse me, sir, my name's What's Up, actually. He's just a little bit more apologetic. But in fact, he's the one with the brains.
Now, that's a good contrast, isn't it? Because
yes.
he's meek and mild, and the other fella's very flamboyant and proud, and, as you say, all puffed up.
Got to have that, yeah. It's the
OK.
basics, really, get the contrast.
All right,
There you
well,
go, and
thanks
it'll
for
work,
that.
hopefully. Yeah.
All right, well, we'll soon find out, then. Can you do the two of them together?
Of course I can.
All right, then.
I say, I do sound good. What about you? I sound good too. I hear we're going to be animated next week. What's that? Made into a cartoon? Exactly. I say, Watty, I hear we're going to be eliminated. No, animated. What on earth is that? Made into a cartoon. Exactly.
Yes, because today is the world premiere of the animated cartoon version of Sherlock Bones. And I'm going to leave it to the expert animators, Paul and Roland from Commanding Images. Now, guys, this is how we remember my two cartoon characters. I've now handed them over to you, and you've developed them. How have you developed them? What have you actually done?
I made some small changes to Sherlock. I put a gap between his teeth. When I heard the voice, it reminded me of Terry Thomas. And gave him less teeth and one finger. He's only 3 fingers.
Why is that?
It's a tradition in animation. Because you've hundreds of drawings, it's easier to follow through.
Less movement.
Yeah.
So what have we got here?
This is a 3-dimensional model of Sherlock Bones, and it's the same principle as the egg you were doing last week.
Oh, right. That's the first time I've ever seen him from the back, actually. Yeah. And what have we got here?
I do acting drawings, poses of the character before I animate.
Is that so you can get into them, all the different poses? So what about the movement itself, Roland?
Well, it's exactly the same technique as a flicker book.
Oh, and these are easy to make, aren't they? Sort of thing you can make at home, and a couple of flicks and you've got some movement there.
Yeah.
How did that transpose to Bones?
It's the same principle for the animation. I tested out by flicking it.
Okay, let's have a look.
And
fantastic. He moves.
we have some key drawings over here.
Okay.
The animation.
Ah, these are on... What's this, cell?
Yes. Well, this is the background. We've left it clear so you can see exactly what's going on. This is his body.
Now, when you say key drawings, is that one stage after the other?
Yes.
Okay.
Separate leg. We've got to wear gloves in order to protect the acetate.
How many drawings do you reckon you've done altogether?
1,600 to the minute. His leg goes up and shoots down, whacking down the bin pedal and sending Watty flying up into the air.
Fantastic. Do you have any finished artwork?
Yes, we've got background here.
Look at that, a finished
Got a
cell.
texture card. The actual body of the background. Bones himself. And just to show you how it's going to shoot, just to show how it's going to shoot onto camera, we've got a framing card here.
And this is how Sherlock Bones is going to look on your telly. The world premiere of the Sherlock Bones animation.
Hello there. My name's, Bones. Oh, yes, Sherlock Bones. The world's greatest detective. And this is my trusty friend, What's Up. What's up? Hello, Bones. Ah, there you are. So, why am I the world's greatest detective? Because you keep your eyes and ears open at all times. Exactly. Help! Bones, you seem to have slipped on the outer casing of an exotic tropical fruit. I beg your pardon. You slipped on a banana skin, Bones. Here's the evidence. I say, Watty, that's litter. A diabolical crime. Who'd do a thing like that? You, Bones. Well, we must do something. Bin it, Bones, where it belongs? Exactly. So, yet another incredibly dangerous case solved by the world's greatest detective, Mr. Me.
Paul, Roland, thank you very much indeed. You've certainly given me an heart attack. Brilliant stuff.